Hello and welcome back to Breaking Bread with Bjorn. I am so excited for today's episode. It's going to be a little bit fun and a little bit different. As always, I'm going to be baking something weird into a loaf of bread. But today, on the episode, I'm going to be joined by a guest, the great and wonderful flip-flop Kelly Sandall. He's back from medical school for a few weeks, so he decided to come on the show and eat a loaf of my bread. I found out a few weeks ago that his favorite thing, one of his favorite things, aside from jiu-jitsu, Magic the Gathering, and medical school, is Coca-Cola Classic. So I'm going to try to make a loaf of bread using this bottle of Coca-Cola Classic, and I have no idea what's going to happen. I suspect the sugars in there are going to play around with it and maybe give me a nice big full loaf. I don't know. I don't even know if the Coca-Cola flavor is going to come through. That's the beauty of this whole thing. So, I'm going to go ahead and mix this thing up, and then in a day or two, Kelly and I are going to sit down and eat it. But for you, due to the power of technology, it's going to be like 30 seconds to a minute. Hello and welcome back. The bread has been baked. You saw the quick little time lapse of it. They're both right in here, and I'm sitting down today with the first ever guest on Breaking Bread with Bjorn, flip-flop Kelly Sandall. How you doing today, Kelly?
Good. I'm much better now. Now this is what's happening.
So, we got talking a couple weeks ago, and you said something that I didn't even believe was true, and then when you started expanding, I'm like, oh, he's serious. Kelly just kind of went on a rant about how he's addicted to Coca-Cola.
It's insane. It's so weird. Like, and it's not all the time, and it's not the sugar or the caffeine, but I'll just like get that fiend for like the taste of Coca-Cola. I don't know why.
Is there any other sodas that you ever really drink?
I don't like. I didn't drink soda for like a decade actually before this. Okay. And then I saw Wolf of Wall Street, which has a different kind of Coke use.
Yep.
But that is after I saw that movie. I don't know what happened, but I'm just like addicted to Coke.
Well, my gears really got turning about Coca-Cola the last couple of days as they mixed up this bread, and I was actually just thinking of it today. They obviously make an outstanding product because billions of people around the world drink it, but
absolutely.
It's not their product that carries them, it's their marketing, and everybody knows this, that they are perhaps the most brilliant marketers of all time. Let's say what you want about the cigarette folks back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
They were awesome marketers, but you had a product that kind of sold itself. Coke, of course, is mildly addictive, right? The caffeine. Yeah. But you got to have some skills to do this, and I think part of your desire, but certainly has to be the fact that we've spent our lives lambasted with Coca-Cola stuff.
At all times. Enjoy Coke. My name can be on the bottle, or a can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So with all that being said, let's start the party off before we unveil this bread.
Oh, I'm so excited.
And pour ourselves a glass of Coca-Cola.
I know.
The watchers will know, the viewers will know, it's a terrible pour. Of course, this loaf of bread is just mixed up, and all the liquid in it is replaced with Coca-Cola. And I didn't add anything else. It's just white flour, since it's not going to be the healthiest loaf as it is. I'm going all white. It really made an interesting dough, and I got a fantastic bake on it, I think. I think I did at least.
I'm really excited.
Well, start things off with a sip.
Yes.
Cheers to you.
Oh, cheers to you.
And I did the loaves two different ways. One was just baked up, and I sprayed it down with a spray bottle full of Coke. The other one, some sugar was added, and here is the big reveal. Let's take a look.
I'm so excited. This is crazy.
So there's the first one. That's without the sugar. I'm happy with it. It's a nice looking bake.
It's
on
like
it.
a little mohawk.
Yeah. So that's a sign of a good bake. When you get that, that means that all your leavening process and everything was really good, and that your moisture when you baked it is really good, and that makes that year.
Wow.
Ideally,
wow.
When you can pick it up, that's a pretty good one.
That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Here's the second one that I added some sugar to.
Oh my god.
This one, as I lick my fingers, that's real professional.
Yeah.
This one got a little bit of burnt/caramelization on the bottom because of all the sugar added.
Yeah, absolutely.
But which one do you want to try first?
I think we should start this way and work our way sweeter.
All right.
God, this is crazy.
As always, I've got my trusty Amish butter right here in the butter bill. Have you ever seen one of these?
I think I've seen you with one before.
Yeah, so that keeps your butter nice and soft. We got our knife. Let's slice into this and see what this is like.
I'm excited to see these professional cuts also. Oh man, I don't even like bread. I already told you this already a million times. I don't even enjoy eating bread, except for now. This is the only bread where
There it is.
It's beautiful.
See if you can. When it was rising, I could really smell the dough. Smelled like a can of Coke.
Well, just feel like you know what I mean? This texture of this bread already.
It's got a nice moisture to it.
Yeah.
So usually, I'm gonna slice it the proper way. It's hard to get good slices once I've cut it
In half. You know what's funny is I always really appreciate the bread cutting technique. You know, because sometimes when I cut, if I'm in a rush, like I crush it down too much, and it's like.
The key is to have a good knife and then let the knife do the work. It gets harder when the bread is crustier, but I know exactly what you mean. You're just smashing down.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? I never cut equally. Mine are always at an angle, so like one side's fat. So I can never toast any bread that I cut.
Sometimes, once I get cut through on these deeper crusts, I actually will rotate it vertically like this.
That's almost the only way that I can cut them. Because otherwise I'm just either going to crush it or make it absolutely uneven.
Alright, so it's got a nice crust on it.
Yeah, look at it. And it's even glistening.
There we go.
Can you see the glisten? Yeah, look at that. That's beautiful.
Alright. Butter it on up. I also, of course, as always, have some peanut butter ready to go if you want some.
Woohoo! Whoa, oh, this butter. I'm going to have to catch it with my bread. Look at that. I mean, what more could you ask for besides butter and Coke?
It's about as good and as healthy as it gets.
Yeah, these are my two favorite food groups at this point in my life.
So I experimented. Well, let's take a bite of this.
All right.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
I like it. Doesn't taste like Coke. It's got a nice
I think
texture.
The after though. So let it sit a little bit.
I can definitely taste the sweetness in it.
So at least for me, when those because there's enzymes in your spit, you know, your saliva. When that starts breaking the bread down, if I let it sit in my mouth, that's when I taste it.
I dig it.
Yeah, I think it's delicious.
A successful experiment. We'll get into the second loaf in a second and give it a try. But Kelly, of course, just finished his first year of medical school and is actually getting ready to go back.
Yep, for year two.
For year two. Black belt now for a couple of years. We know a lot of this because you've been on my podcast before.
Yeah.
But one idea when I was making the show was to have it somehow with a bit of a philosophical theme. I don't know, without going over the top, because bread exists cross-culturally.
Yeah. Right?
All across the world, as do so many different things. But bread's one of these things that ties things together. You have an incredible work ethic. Do you have like a philosophy of life or a guiding set of principles or anything?
For like what I like with schoolwork and jiu-jitsu and stuff?
Yeah, just you in general.
So I and some people think that like I'm like I can read a book once and just know it. I'm actually the exact opposite. Nothing has ever come natural to me except the steam locks in jiu-jitsu. That's like the only thing ever. And besides that, everything, dude. I mean, so when I study for like 16 hours a day, and it's not like I'm covering so much material. It just takes me time. So for me, I guess my set of principles is like putting in the work. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, when you walk into a test or if you go compete, I take a little edge off just because I know like I did as much as I physically and possibly could. Because the thing is, like, my whole life is jiu-jitsu and studying. I don't got time for anything else, right? So for me, it's just putting in work, always. no matter how much grinding you have to do, there's always some more you can,
There's always some room for improvement.
Absolutely.
All right, let's cut into the second one here.
I can't even go over it. I almost know if I want to taste this one without butter and then put butter on after.
That's not a bad idea. I've actually had some people since I started baking that just stopped by. I've had one or two that will do exactly that. Former guest of the show, Cody Bjorn, that's exactly what he did when I gave him a slice. And he's like, I want to taste it. I don't anything on there. I'm game to try it that way if you want to try it that way.
Yeah, so I actually, with all the loaves I get from you, I don't put anything but butter on them. Mostly because I don't want to detract from the flavor of the bread. Which, and again, normally, like, as a not big bread eater... Oh, this one.
This one's going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I think you can just see the caramelization. Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Bite one. This is really good.
Yeah. It's like a dessert bite.
It's like perfect. And so you use Coke instead of water?
Yeah. Yep, usually this recipe would have about 650 milliliters of water. Like 650 milliliters of Coke.
That's amazing.
And that's the only thing I did. I tried to play around and do some different things. I tried to figure out if I could maybe make like some type of caramel to top this with, or some type of like hard candy, crush it up. And I boiled down like a bottle of Coke, a 20-ounce bottle, to like where it should be for hard candy. I got it done, poured it out, let it cool, and tasted a piece after like 20 minutes. And it was one of the most god-awful things I've ever tasted because I ended up scorching it. So that didn't make it to the bread.
This is going to actually turn out?
No.
But this is great. I can't believe this is only Coke, though. Because it looks, you wouldn't know if you looked at this bread.
I guess, well, so it is, it's only Coke in it, and then topped with some sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I'm very happy with it. I might actually use this for making some more of my sweetbreads. And, of course, it got this really cool crumb and structure. It sprung up really good because all the yeast and lactobacilli in there love this sugar.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure that they just flourished with Coke instead of water.
So heading back to medical school, not much of a bread eater. What are you going to do for your bread fix in Vegas? Or are you just going to wait till you come home?
Yeah, that's it. Some people said that they would mail me loaves if they could find a way to make it make it work. But yeah, so no. And in Vegas, like, I'm so busy studying. Like, really, my eating habits are awful because I eat like oatmeal, protein shake, salad, protein shake, and then dinner is just like, it could be eggs and bacon, or it could be Chick-fil-A, or In-N-Out, because I don't have time. I don't have time to drive home and eat, and it's crazy because like I've been in school for so long, and people are used to me being so busy, but medical school is just this level that is so far above what I was at before.
Mm-hmm.
I was busy before, and this just doesn't even cut it close. So they describe it too. They're like medical school's like a fire hose. Like you turn it on and then it just like it's just information, and you can't even retain it all. There's so much you learn, and so if anything, I'm mostly impressed with how much that I can keep, and I think I'm kind of lucky because since I'm like such a patient, with my heart and jiu-jitsu, that I have like a little bit more of like that personal experience of being in a hospital so much that I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I can remember this, or like, so. Yeah, so bread fix, it's funny because I used to love English muffins.
Yep.
And now I'm just like, they're nothing. You know what I mean? Hey, like, if I was going to cheat with bread at all, I was like, English muffin, it's done. And now I'd like tried one again and I was like, doesn't cut it.
That might be on my radar someday sooner than later because you can make some pretty good sourdough English muffins. So for all of you watching at home, we're going to continue eating our bread and having our conversation. Any final thoughts on the bread?
I actually am really, again, it looks just like bread. You would never know this was made with Coke. And I actually love it. Like, it's delicious. And I don't think I've had your sweet bread before. The one that you use for French toast. But,
like the cinnamon bread?
Yeah. But this is absolutely amazing. And look at the caramelization from the one with sugar on it. This is amazing. This is so good.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy you like it. Of course, you have some sponsors and people you work with for jiu-jitsu stuff. Take a second, go ahead and plug them.
Telling me chew this bread.
Yep. I'm going to pour you a little more Coke. Thank you. Help you wash it down.
So, I'm sponsored by Want vs. Need. Jiu-jitsu gear. They make all my
That's
gis.
a terrible pour, man.
Oh, it's okay. It's still good because it's Coke. They make all my gis. They make all my no-gi gear. Datu Sara, hemp gear for victory. They make my backpacks, all made out of hemp. They actually got together with my microbiology professor to help get some research done to show that their bags are actually antibacterial.
Okay.
So they gave them a bunch of shirts and their gear and let them test them in a lab. That's kind of big ballsy. You know what I mean? You're putting a lot on the line right there. You could just say like it is. They tested it. Monkey tape, because I jack my fingers up all the time. These are not surgeon's hands. You can tell by my fingers. Not a good call. I think that's it for now. And then of course Kasuga Jiu-Jitsu, which we both live and breathe at this point.
Of course. I got nothing aside from keep watching the show, help out by sharing and giving it a like and all that stuff, and help this thing grow. Let me know what you thought of this format. It's something fun, something different, a little bit longer, but maybe you got something a little bit more of it. I want to thank you one last time, Kelly Sandall, for
so glad to be
coming
here.
over, and we're going to sit around and eat some bread. All of you at home, thank you for watching. I'll be back baking up more bread sooner than later. Until then, be kind to one another.